Good evening. It's time for another adventure with Lego Mario tonight. Tonight, we're just going to keep things small. We're going to do the two smaller sets that are based on the Piranha Plants. The Piranha Plants are an iconic part of the Mario series. There's even a big Piranha Plant statue set. But today I just have the two smaller Lego Mario encounters. Piranha Plants are actually in a few other sets that we'll be seeing, some larger sets, just as standard enemies. But tonight we're looking at the two smaller sets that actually feature Piranha Plants as the main action um, of the uh, of the encounter. So let's go over to the camera, and you can see here I have the Piranha Plant Puzzling Challenge and the Piranha Plant Power Slide. Um, let's Each of these contains two power plants and two piranha plants. And they're built differently in each set. So let's go ahead and explore these two sets and learn about their actions. And uh, let's start with the Piranha Plant Puzzling Challenge, which, as you can see, has that purple base, which means this one's actually set in the swamp. So I want to do this one first. And because we're playing with Lego Mario, I do have my Mario figure ready. And I also, because these are smaller sets that aren't going to have the tool, I did bring a tool with me to this stream, ready to go. And let me adjust my camera real quick because I can see the front table is showing again, which it's not supposed to be. My camera, for some reason, has been having issues staying in place today. Hopefully, we won't see that little desktop area that you saw at the bottom edge of the screen. That's supposed to be kind of a staging area off camera. And I usually don't have a problem balancing my camera, but today I had to struggle with it for several minutes. That particular camera is missing its clip, so I always have to balance it in weird ways. But it's worked well enough for our Lego streams. So here we have the Piranha Plant Puzzling Challenge. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah. And it's also, in addition to the two Piranha Plants, it also has an enemy called a Spiny. This is the first representation of Spiny in my Lego Mario collection. And of course, we see the back of the box. And the back of the box shows how you can add it to a starter set. And it shows little... And the back of the box attempts to show off the action features, but I found that sometimes it's hard to interpret them from the box, and we're better off just trying to build it ourselves. There's the front of the box one more time. And now let's get it open. This is another Lego Mario set that does not have the standard Lego push tabs, so I got my trusty tool to cut the tape. Let me see something here. The other set also just has tape. So we're opening up the Piranha Plant Puzzling Challenge first. We do have 1, 2, 3 numbered bags, it looks like. No, 4 numbered bags in this one. And of course, we have our quick start guide, which in the older Mario sets isn't actually the instructions. It shows you how you have to go online to get the instructions, either through the app, where you get interactive instructions, or the way we do it, which is I just download from the Lego instructions website, where they come in PDF form. So, let's take bags 2, 3, and 4 off. And let's pull up our instructions. So here's the instruction book for the Piranha Plant Puzzling Challenge. So bag 1 is the Spiny. Bag 2 is the base of the swamp. Bag 3 is the first Piranha Plant, and bag 4 is the second. They look similar. They must be slightly different because obviously that's not shown. They're not being done as in ×2 here. So the 2 Piranha Plants must be slightly different, even though they look the same from the outside. So let's go ahead and get started with our Spiny. So he actually has 2 of these feet pieces put together. Oh, and that these are actually printed feet. Interesting. So they're actually oriented, the feet are actually pointing towards the side. It looks like according to the picture, because now when we put these brackets on, yeah. Very simple build for the Spiny, but cute. I like it. It's only 8 pieces, 1 page. We put on the shell. So Spiny is basically like a little turtle. I didn't remember these guys from the actual games until I saw it just now, but let's put the tile on. So here's our little Spiny. He's basically a cute little turtle. And there's the scan code, but I don't think it's going to focus because I'm too far away. Okay, so Spiny is a 2-hit enemy. Let's go ahead and set him aside. And let's bring out bag 2 and start the build proper. These 2 sets are small enough, I should be able to get both of them to fit on the table for the exit scene. Given the new camera adjustment, my instructions might be a little oversized for tonight. Let me see what I can do here. No, the instructions are fine because I can't get the camera angle to fix the way I usually do, so I'll play with it before the Saturday stream. Saturday we're doing a couple really big sets. I have a special Mario stream planned for Saturday. I have about 8 more Lego streams in hand. Lego Mario streams. I have about 8 more in hand Lego Mario streams, and then I have about another 10 or so streams worth of stuff to get. We're getting there with the Lego Mario collection. We're definitely getting there. The idea, of course, is that ultimately I'll have every set in the Lego Mario series. And I have a lot of them in hand already. I also need to make the Lego streams that I have in hand last a little bit because my Lego budget is shot for right now. So I'm trying to space them out a bit, not build all at once, but there'll definitely be lots of Mario content over the next 2 months or so. Probably 3 months by the time I get all the remaining stuff. Okay, so we have to make 2 gears. And it shows us to put the flower on the gear. And we have, in addition to the 2 gears that we're putting on now, we also have 3 bigger turntables that I guess are also good. I mean, we have a lot of turntable bases going on with this set. Okay, and now we're going to do an assembly. It looks like the assembly is going to be based around this big gear. And a little bit of technique. So it looks like this gear is going to be probably the main actuator of the Piranha Plant action feature. Piranha Plants are so iconic. I'm surprised it took me this long to actually get to doing one of the sets that had one of them in. Now, like I said, there's a few other sets in my pile of stuff to be built that also have Piranha Plants, but they are, in those cases, one-off enemies as opposed to the main action feature. So yeah, we'll definitely be seeing the Piranha Plants again, just like we'll be seeing a lot of Goombas and Koopa Troopas again. Those are some of the more iconic and common enemies in the Mario world. Now these are rubber Technic bits, which means they're going to create some friction on the action. So we'll have to see how this all works. I do like discovering the action features as they come together and trying to figure out what they're meant to do. And I want to make sure, pay extra attention and make sure I'm putting together the action feature correctly, because as it turns out, last weekend when I did the haunted house, I built one of the action features incorrectly. It was basically a static model that didn't do what it was supposed to do, and after stream I actually had to go back and disassemble that section and rebuild it. And I discovered what the problem was, what I had done wrong, but I don't want to let that happen again. I want to be able to show off all the actions on stream. We're quickly running out of pieces in bag 2, so I have a feeling that we're not going to discover this big action feature until bag 3. But we now have this gear, and it's connected to the other two purple gears we put on earlier. And now we have whatever this section is going to be. We're only about 17 minutes into stream, but if you count the splash screen I always do, we're actually technically only 15 minutes into actual stream content. And we're already about half, well, not by page count, so by bag count, we've already done 2 of the 4 bags in the first set. And then this piece will go onto the platform like this. So this is going to be a piece that both spins and rocks a little bit. Interesting. Yeah, there is a rocker in there. Okay. I must not have been fully paying attention to what we, oh yeah, it makes sense now. Did I miss a piece somewhere? Because I have 2 purple pieces left over. Yeah, I see where they need to go. Alright, let me just... But to put them in, I have to take the purple gears off. Alright, once these purple pieces are in, I can put everything back together, and we can proceed on to the first Piranha Plant in my Lego Mario collection, which, as we discovered, is not a 2X build. Okay, the gears are reconnected. We're ready to go. And I will just set this platform to the side behind Mario. And let's get bag 3 out. Bag 3 is going to be the first Piranha Plant of the 2 in the set. Wow. Well, that's cool. There's 3 distinctly different shades of green in this parts pile. I hope I can keep them straight against these instructions. Looks like there's also a Technic core to the Piranha Plants action. So I'm not yet sure how this all works. Obviously, we will discover that as it gets built up. This whole assembly goes onto this other purple gear. So it looks like the last two turntables on the ends of the base of the swamp are where the piranha plants are going to go, since it looks like each one of them is going to be situated on one of these purple gears. Okay. So now we're putting on a bunch of leafy bits. And we're going to start to really make this look like a plant now. And I do like the different tones of green. It gives it a little more texture than it would be if they were all the same shade of green. Okay, so this block that we're putting below the piranha plant now, it has a coin icon on it. It has the standard coin barcode, but it's also printed on the sides with this coin icon. So if we take Mario, oh, this one's different. It's a red coin. And it looks like after I pick it up, I can't pick it up again. I don't know what the red coin is meant to do yet. We'll have to figure out how that works later when we put the rest of the set together. But hey, now it looks like we're going to start making this thing look like the iconic Piranha Plant. Now that we have this little Technic assembly to put onto this leafy base we created. Things are starting to come together here with this creature. It'd be cool to see when we do the other set later how the piranha plants are different in assembly. Okay, one's just pins and one's just axles. Okay, alright. I don't think I've ever seen this particular Technic pin before. Or I mean this particular Technic piece, the one that we're building around right now. Now this goes on here. Okay, there's not enough exposed of the axle for that to actually stay in place. Let's build what's going to attach to the other side, and then we'll try to put that on. Lots of little tiny pieces to fill in detail. Pretty soon this will start to look like what it's supposed to be. But right now it still just looks like we're putting random shapes together. But I trust the process. These Mario character builds are always fun. Particularly the bigger ones that have more pieces. Oh. I missed that plate. Now we can put these pieces on. And everything will line up correctly. And it looks like we'll have to do pretty much this whole same build again in the next bag. Still not completely understanding why they didn't just have us do it as a 2x, unless, of course, what's wrong here? So I put the bracket in, right? And then these white pieces are supposed to line up with the, oh, the white plates at the bottom are supposed to be double stacked. I missed that. That's why it wasn't lining up. Now I'll be able to put these white pieces on. And actually, shapes are starting to be recognizable now. Not entirely yet, but I can see how this is going to be a piranha plant now. Looks like we made part of a... Yeah, those are going to be teeth right there. We've basically just put together the bottom half of the piranha plant's head section. And then we'll attach it to the leafy base, and then we'll create the top half of its head, and then we'll do the whole thing again for the other one. Okay, and I gotta be very careful to attach everything correctly. So there's that. So it looks like this attaches against the bottom like this. Yeah, and then this section goes over the block. And hangs from that section like that. Alright, so the part I was trying to put in the hole was not actually the part that's supposed to go into the hole. So we have the bottom of the Piranha Plant's mouth section sitting on top of the mystery coin. We've pinned that Technic assembly from before into the middle of the Piranha Plant. And now I guess we can build up the top of the we can build the top of the plant so that we can figure out the action. It's definitely coming together well. And this time I'll be sure to double stack these plates properly, like it shows me to, so I don't run into that issue again. And then the bracket. So far, this section is built up exactly the same as the previous bottom portion, but there's probably a slight difference for the actual attachment point, probably. Alright, so we're going to put these teeth in. These 1 by 1 little pyramid pieces are difficult to grip, especially if you want to do so without poking yourself, but it's not too bad. You saw how quickly I put those pieces on. I'm used to them by now. I can't tell anything different from the bottom jaw. This portion of this portion at least should have been done as a ×2, but whatever. So this part goes on top of, oh, it's in opposition. Okay, careful. So bottom jaw, and then the top, and now this other Technic piece here to secure the connections like that. And so, and now we just need to create a second one of these red coin blocks. And that's going to tell us to go into bag 4. So here's our first Piranha plant. There's no code tiles on the plant itself, but it looks like it flops back and forth between the 2 red coin blocks. And the mouth opens and closes a little bit. There is some articulation there. So you can kind of get that chomping action going depending on how you flick it. Pretty cool. You can see it's got the leaves at its base here, but no, below the plant there's a nice leafy base. It's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and open bag 4 and build the other Piranha plant so we can put the whole scenario together. And this really does look like it's going to be an identical build. Okay, let's go ahead and get this one together. Now, if this is an identical build, then it means that they were kind of wasteful with the instructions. But because they didn't actually ever print this instruction book, at least it wasn't their paper that they were wasting. They were just wasting builder efficiency is what they were doing. And it looks like it's going to be exactly the same. So what I'm going to do when I get to the other build, when I get to the 2 halves of the mouth, I'm actually going to build that as a 2X, I think. Because that's what the other one was up until the final step. So now that I know that there's a bunch of things that are meant to be done in duplication that aren't actually marked as such, I'm going to go ahead and do so anyway, since I know it's coming. We can be a little more efficient that way, I think. Actually, I'm going to follow the instructions as written, even though it's not as efficient, because if you don't follow the instructions written, maybe there's a specific reason they didn't have you do it as a 2X. Maybe there isn't, but sometimes if you make that assumption, you might get hit with surprises, and then you have to go back and fix things. So I'm just going to do what I am told, even though it's repetitive and inefficient in the case of this build. The set is small enough. It'll give us a few more time. It'll give us a few more minutes together on stream. Since it's otherwise a short stream tonight. Relatively short. We'll almost certainly, we do have a second set to do after this one, so it's about the same size in terms of piece count. Same. Okay. So this plant is also going to have the red coins. There's that piece. And we know from last time that to interpret the picture correctly, this one does pin in on what's already there, so let's just keep going. We know that this is going to be the bottom half of the head here. And since we know what's coming, it'll go together pretty quickly. And then after this, we still have 2 more piranha plants to build. But with a different construction. I think when we're done building, I'm gonna see what the action does. But I think we're gonna wait and put up all the piranha plants and then just run the Mario interactions and try and figure them all out at the end. It'll probably be more efficient and less redundant to do it that way. But I still want to at least figure out what the actions do on here once everything is together. Because we can see bits and pieces of the action, like we know that the base rotates, and we know that the piranha plant itself has a chomping motion, but we really don't know how that all lines up together to create the main action for this particular encounter. Did I put the... Yeah, I did. Okay. I do like the clever use of shapes here to make it all come together. I've noticed a lot of the enemy types in these Mario sets, they have if they don't use these little 1x1 pyramid pieces, they have something spiky about them. Like you can see spike details on the shell pieces, for example. I mean, it's pretty cool, consistent theming in that regard. I do have a nice dinner waiting for me after stream, but I'm in no rush. I like to take my time and enjoy these building sessions. Oh, I didn't have that lined up correctly. Okay, so this will go onto here, and now I can put this section onto the plant. Let me just see. Yeah, that's pretty clever how it's all built up. And now we're going on to the last piece of the last plant for this set. All right. Yeah, this is coming together quickly because we know what we're doing at this point. This is our 4th time on this particular assembly. Thankfully, it's also the final time, and we can move on to the next bit after this. Okay, why isn't this piece lining up? There we go. Oh, there it is. This was kind of a repetitive set, not gonna lie, but the end result looks like it's gonna be pretty cool, so it's fun. I like when Lego does fun things. Which is pretty much all the time. Well, not all, but most of the time. So the teeth are on, and we just need to finish this little bit so that we can attach it. Here's a close-up look at the Piranha Plant jaw before I attach it, because I just realized I haven't shown off what this section actually looks like. There's like 4 of these in the set, and we finally built the last one. So now we can go ahead and secure this Piranha Plant together. And this one does not get a second coin block. This one just has the one. Instead, it has regular bricks. So that's the only thing different between this plant and the previous one, is that it only has 1 of the red coins instead of 2. They really could have given it a 2x for that, honestly. And now, I guess this is the platform that will allow us to actually put it all together. And so we'll take this section here, and it shows the one with 2 coins, 2 red coins, gearing in this way, and then the one with our, and then this one it shows pointed this way with a block on the inside. So let's get this lined up on the gear, and I want to try and line them up a little better because this shows them at right angles. So I want to have that lined up like that, and then I guess I have to rebuild this little section here. Alright, now while that's lined up, let's get this one lined up. Alright, so, and then it shows this platform. Okay, that's still not lined up quite correctly because the instructions want them to be in right angles-ish. And at the very least, this platform needs to start straight. I'd rather have this one be off alignment, actually, because it shows this other one being straight with the starting platform here. So if I put this here as my guide, like that, and I should be able to put this one in straight opposition to that. Relatively straight opposition to that, I mean. Almost. So if that's straight. Almost. We almost have it straight. Okay, so I can't go perfectly straight like the directions show. That's about the best I can do. But that's alright. We'll attach this other plant. Alright, they're both attached to the base. And this base is small enough, we should be able to get both Piranha Plant levels onto the table for the end scene. And little Spiny, it shows going on the platform like this. And that's the end of that set. So, let's see. So Mario comes here, I guess. And he's trying to spin. And if he spins... So let's see. So get the Spiny's coins, come on the platform, spin around, and try to take the red coin. So what happens if you start on these coins? Does it matter the order? Okay, that's cool. So the way the red coins work is you have to collect all 3 of them to get the full coins. You can collect them in any order, but you have to collect all 3 of them in order to get those, in order to get the full amount of coins. That's pretty cool. Alright. The flipping and chomping feature didn't really work as we were spinning around. I guess you have to do that part manually. But it's cool that they give you the option to do that. Anyway. Let's set these 2 Piranha Plants aside. You know what? Spiny's little. He can wait out with Mario. And let's go right into our second set, the Piranha Plant Power Slide. You can see these Piranha Plants have a different construction. Well, it looks like the body, the heads might be roughly similar, but of course with different attachments. But it looks like the whole base is different. So instead of the swamp, these Piranha Plants actually look like they're living in the middle of the desert. You can see the distinctive yellow that's used for the desert pieces, as well as we also going to get a Goomba and a Koopa Troopa, and it looks like some other power-up brick here. So front of the box, back of the box, And this is a good army building set because of the Goomba and the Koopa Troopa. You want to have large numbers of those. I've lost count of the number of Goombas I have. I'm still roughly getting started with my Koopa Troopa army. I have one Paratroopa so far, one regular, one oversized Koopa Troopa, and one dry bones, which is a skeletal Koopa Troopa. So this will be my second standard Koopa Troopa and my 5th overall. Did I show you the back of the box? There. Alright. So it looks like this power brick has a time icon on it. And there's a music icon on the back of the box as well. Let's see how this one plays out. So let's see. 2, 3, 1. So 3 numbered bags for this one. Here is the quick start guide. Let's put these off. Let's put these off until we need them. And now let's pull up the instructions. And we can fix that so we don't have that big gap there. I can't do anything about the gap on the other side. So bag 1 is the Koopa Troopa, bag 2 is the base, and the Goomba. Bag 3 will give us the Piranha Plants themselves. Okay, let's get on with it. Ooh, that's actually pretty distracting. Let me... There. Alright. Let's get started. I do really like this little Spiny. Cute little turtle thing. Alright. Now there's the one. No. Let's make sure I'm using correct pieces. Koopas go together pretty quickly. Koopas, Toads, Yoshis, any of the creature types that I've done a bunch before will go together pretty quickly. And this Koopa has a green shell. That's what this one looks like, with the tile attached. So now we take Mario. Okay, so I think that was 3 hits. So this Koopa is a 3-hit enemy. I'm not sure if all the Koopa Troopas are like that. Well, I know the big one I think is 4 hits. I think the Paratroopa might be 4 hits too. I remember playing that one. I don't know if all the regular Koopa Troopas are 3 hits or if the shell colors mean different things. Because my other basic Koopa Troopa has a red shell, not a green one. So I'm not really sure what all that means. Meanwhile, let's move these guys forward a little bit and expose some more of my table to the camera because we've been drifting forward. And let's move on to bag 2. So bag 2 is going to be most of the scenery for this interaction. So this is called, once again, the Piranha Plant Power Slide. And it looks like it's going to be a completely different mechanism from the Piranha Plant Puzzling Challenge. 2 different interpretations of what these plants can be used for. And I'm all for it. I'm all for having different action types. Okay, so it looks like we're starting with this big base piece. And then we just need to start building up the desert terrain. Almost as tricky to handle as the 1x1 pyramid slopes in the last set are these 1x1 curved slopes in this set. Because they're very difficult to get a grip on. The 1x1 single-side slopes, what many fans refer to as cheese slopes, those are child's play to me at this point, but these others are still tricky to grip. But we got there, and we're actually on to the next step now. And I see a Goomba face tile staring up at me from the parts pile. So we'll be getting our Goomba out pretty soon as well. So here's a little, yeah. So it looks like this is going to be the base of the main action, given it's one of these platforms with the pins. Yeah, so this is going to be the base of a moving platform, it looks like. I'm not seeing as much Technica overall in this parts pile. There might not actually be any more Technic in here, which means this, by definition, is a much simpler action. But still will be awesome once it's all put together, I do believe. But where's that other curved slope piece? There it is. It was hiding under another part. There we go. We got there. So this little gray bit rocks back and forth like this. So that's going to be the base of the main action feature, I believe. Okay. And then we get this little smaller platform over here. And then these go on like this. Okay. Ah, clear stand, which means we're going to get, this is going to be one of those floaty platforms in midair. And then we're putting together this, is that one piece or two pieces? Just one. So it's printed with this clock icon on both sides. And then there's supposed to be a tile for it. Yeah, this is the tile for the clock brick. And this is the print that appears on two sides of it. I wonder what this is. Probably something to increase the length of the timer of your game, maybe. It'll be useless without a Mario start. Yeah, it's not going to let me activate that. So we probably have to be in game mode from a start pipe, and that will top up the timer. And then we have this little cactus piece that we attach on the bottom like there. Now we're making another platform. We're about halfway done with the instruction book. Okay, that one will go there. And then we build an even taller cactus on this side. And this one's tall enough that I may actually be able to show you. So this is what the cactus plants look like in the desert levels. You can see the spiky bits around the edges and the pink flower on top. That one will go onto this platform. And then we take this and we add this to the layout. So this set actually has us building the layout as we go. We'll take this whole thing and set it aside for a moment so that I can come over here and put the Goomba together. You've seen the Goomba tile a whole bunch of times at this point. So, I'm just going to keep going. The standard Goomba, non-variant Goomba, is made with exactly 10 pieces. Now, there are some that are modified, so they put the barcode on the back instead of the top. So you can put a hat on or put a jumper up there for Goombas playing together, which was done in one set. So I misinterpreted the Koopa before. It's actually 2 hits to defeat it. And it shows us putting the Goomba on the platform, but I'm actually not going to do that quite yet. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'll put the Goomba up here with the other characters. And now we're going to, it shows us taking one of these long plates now. So now it looks like we're going to create the track. This is going to be the Power Slide part of the title of the set. Piranha Plant Power Slide. Wow, this is a long platform. Let's make sure the tiles are straight because there is going to be some action on this track. So everything is secure. Let's get this last piece on. And then we have these track pieces. They look like scaffolding almost. And these just run down along the length of the track like this. And then we take these 3 tiles that remain and we stick them into the gaps of the track and we'll be ready to go. So this is what our track section looks like. Be interesting to see how this actually gets used. And this, we have to line up the center with a platform like this. And now it just goes like that. So now we have to see what this track is used for. But we see the main primary action for what we're going to do here. And then we need bag 3. And I'm actually going to set this aside because bag 3 is starting with the Piranha Plants, and that's looks like it's a ×2 action. So I want my build space. Okay, so these piranha plants look like they're starting a bit differently. They also don't have that whole built-up base section with the leaves. They just have a bit of stem and then the head. But that's probably to facilitate their uh, being on this track platform thing. It's a two. At least this one gave this to us as a 2x build. So we get to do this one the easy way. Or I shouldn't say easy way, I should say efficient way. Okay, I see what this is doing. So it looks like we'll still have to do pretty much the same build one more time if these plants are like the other ones and have the same jaws. The shaping is very similar. They use similar arrangements of pieces once we get through that initial different joint. So yeah, this is going nicely so far. I don't know if the 2x is halves of the same plant or bottom halves of both plants. We'll find out shortly. But yeah, there's like no Technic in the set. Okay, so it shows us doing okay. So what we have to do then is finish up these two bits, and then it looks like we have a sub-assembly. So looks like we'll have to do that 2 times as well. Okay, there's one. So yeah, the upper portion of the build is pretty much the same as the previous set. It's just that the lower portion is structured slightly differently to accommodate the very different base structure. In the case of this one, the non-existent base structure. And something just fell off the table here. Let me see if I can figure out what it was. I can't at this time, so let's hope it wasn't important. Alright, assembly. Alright, so yeah, this is going together pretty quickly doing it this way. This instruction set is much more efficient than the other one was, clearly. Alright. But you can see the shapes coming together in a familiar pattern. Okay, that one's together. Let's finish up this side. Okay, so yeah, so I see how this is going to go together now. And then this will go on top of this like this. And we'll just put those two hinge pieces together. And so these piranhas don't manually move. I mean, they manually move, but they're not going to automatically chomp. It's more like posing them. and letting the action take its place, because these are the tight hinges that don't flop about. These are the tight ones. So alright, let's get the teeth onto this one so I can connect this one up. So yeah, definitely not as floppy or action-packed as the Piranha Plants in the first set. These are more probably these are probably more meant for show and to kind of get the idea across that Mario's in a dangerous situation. Right. So the hinges together, and now we got to take this piece. Oh, did I forget to put the I forgot to put a bit on this one. So that lines up like that, and then this will line up like this. Okay, we've so yeah, it looks like everything's lined up now. It shows us putting them on the base, and I see how they clip onto the base, but we're gonna hold off and do these other few pieces first. So we have this interesting looking base piece here, kind of chunky. Looks like it's gonna be a vehicle base. And now I know which piece went on the floor. It was one of the wheels. These are the little attached wheels and axles. Nothing particularly too fancy about these. And they go, it shows them clipping in like this. Okay, I see how that goes in. I'm not entirely sure. I think it wants this piece, and then these two little jump tiles here, or plates, I mean. And then there's this barcode with arrows on it. And now we're just building up just building up some paneling around the edges here. So it looks like a little cart of some kind. And then these two bits are spares, and they'll just go off screen. And so let's see what this tile. Okay, so this tile does play music. Alright, and shows this vehicle going on the middle of the track. So let's pull the track back down. And then I attach the Piranha Plants and the little cart in the middle. So let's go ahead and take that off, and we can see what we're doing. We're at the hour-and-a-half mark, and we're finishing up the second set now. So with the plants on, and they're looking down the track trying to eat Mario, and the little cart, it shows it clipping onto the track like this. And it goes back and forth between the two plants. Let's raise the heads one notch so that there's clearance there. So if you rock it back and forth, Mario goes between the two plants and collects coins. Like that. Of course, the time block does nothing. And we can take the separator off because we're done building. Let's build our exit scene and figure out our raid. Issa is still on. Let's see, they're on, but they told me not to raid if I don't have a certain number of viewers. So yeah, we're not going to raid them. I'll probably switch over to them later. What about, let me make sure that this one's not stopping soon. It's still early in the evening relatively. And of course, it's going to force me to watch an ad. Let's see, she usually goes 3 hours. She's been on about 2.5. We probably got a few minutes. Let's raid Issa tonight. But first, let's create our exit scene. So we have 4 Piranha Plants, a Spiny, a Goomba, and a Koopa Troopa to work with. Let's do it like this. And then we'll put the Koopa Troopa here in front of these Piranha Plants. Actually, he blends against the yellow, so we'll actually put the Koopa Troopa here with these Piranha Plants. And then we'll put the Goomba right up front. And Shiny in the cart. That's kind of cute, having the Shiny in the cart like that. Did I say Shiny? I meant Spiny. So Spiny will sit in the cart, and then Mario will just stand in front. So I have Mario, Goomba, Spiny, Koopa Troopa, and 4 Piranha Plants. And let's just move everything a little bit over so that everything's on screen. And let's set up the raid. So we're about an hour and a half. We're raiding Issa tonight. I think you'll like her show. She's a good singer. We did 2 little sets tonight in about an hour and a half, and I have I'm doing some more Lego Mario sets on Saturday. I'll probably take the night off tomorrow. Sunday, I'm probably going to do a game stream because I need to get some more gaming going on this channel. Have a good night, and I will see you soon. Take the night off. Get some more gaming.
Hey Uncle Eve, how's it going? Thank you so much for the raid. Hey, what's up? Oh, my Ginger. Yeah, sing along, sing along.